Jeff Fager is the chairman of CBS News, and he's the one who ordered the internal review following 60 Minutes' October 27th report on Benghazi. Now we know that there is trouble for the producer, whose name is McClellan, and reporter Lara Logan and her Christmas vacation. Here's what Jeff Fager had to say today. He says, as executive producer, I am responsible for what gets on the air. I pride myself in catching almost everything, but the deception got through, and it shouldn't have. So he issued the report. The report was done by Al Ortiz. We'll get to that in a moment. But here's what Jeff Fager said in his release. That was just a straight quote that he had about, as executive producer, being responsible for what gets on the air. Here's the rest of what Fager had to say. By now, most of you have received the report from Al Ortiz about the problems with the 60 Minutes story on Benghazi. There is a lot to learn from this mistake for the entire organization. We have rebuilt CBS News in a way that has dramatically improved our reporting abilities. Ironically, 60 Minutes, which has been a model for those changes, fell short by broadcasting a new discredited account of an important story and did not take full advantage of the reporting abilities of CBS News that might have prevented it from happening. As a result, and this is the key part here, he says, I have asked Lara Logan, who has distinguished herself and has put herself in harm's way many times in the course of covering stories for us, to take a leave of absence, which she has agreed to do. Continuing, I have asked the same of producer McClellan, who has also had a distinguished career at CBS News. All of that is interesting stuff, and the stuff in the report is telling too, and I think they made the right decision here. And I've been a fan of Lara Logan's reporting for some time. She's obviously put herself, as many people know, in harm's way with devastating results many times. Her bravery is unquestioned. And I don't know what was in her heart. I don't know whether she just made a mistake or whether she was determined to pick up worst case scenario, best case scenario, she made a mistake, worst case scenario, she was driven and determined to sort of pick up and do something dramatic with right-wing talking points about the Benghazi story. What is clear is that they wanted to do something about Benghazi that was different. And in fact, the report says that in the summary of findings. They were looking, according to Jeff Fager, he says, from the start, Lara Logan and her producing team were looking for a different angle to the story of the Benghazi attack. And they believe they found it, says Fager, in the story of Dylan Davies, written under the pseudonym Morgan Jones. And of course, by now you guys know the story of how he fabricated what happened, what he did on the night of the attack. What I think is weird is that it didn't occur to CBS that maybe they were getting sold a bad bag of goods by a guy who had a porn name. You know, like Dylan Davies, but my porn name is Morgan Jones. I mean, come on. Red flag. Right there. Questions have also been raised about the role of al-Qaeda in the attack since Lara Logan declared in the report that al-Qaeda fighters had carried it out. Al-Qaeda's role is the subject of much disagreement and debate. Continuing, while Logan had multiple sources and good reasons to have confidence in them, her assertions that al-Qaeda carried out the attack and controlled the hospital were not adequately attributed in her report. And then there's this. In October of 2012, 1 month before starting work on the Benghazi story, Logan made a speech in which she took a strong public position, arguing that the U.S. government was misrepresenting the threat from al-Qaeda and urging actions that the U.S. should take in response to the Benghazi attack. From a CBS News standards perspective, there is a conflict in taking a public position on the government's handling of Benghazi and al-Qaeda while continuing to report on the story. That seems plainly obvious to me, and that's the reason why Lara Logan has taken a leave of absence. They asked her to. She agreed. That's their version of events. I don't know how it's going to happen. I would be surprised if she ever worked for CBS and 60 Minutes again, but I don't know. And I wouldn't, and if she does, I'm totally okay with that. Enough with the firing people. This is a significant punishment. I think it was a significant punishment, just the public ridicule and knowledge to your colleagues that you'd been had. Didn't just get a story wrong, you got hustled. And that's what happened, is they got hustled by a guy with a porn name.